Now, companies' revenues are the income that a company generates from its services or products. So as an investor, it's important that you trace or you track such a figure. It tells you if a company is becoming more and more profitable or not. So if a company is reporting a better revenues or higher revenues than the ones they have reported in the previous quarters, then that ought to be taken as a good sign. Or you should take that as a good sign as an investor to say that this is a company that is doing well, meaning that the services or products that the company or that company provides are in demand, and we might see them, or it's a sign that you might see them continuing to be in demand even in the future. So with all that, thermal coal is one of the things or one of the resources that are seriously in demand in South Africa. This is the reason why we've been seeing some load sheddings. It is due to the shortage of this thermal coal that we have been experiencing some of these load sheddings in our country, which that, my friend, is something that just has to tell you that it means that thermal coal is something that is in demand, and it's something that it's really needed, so that problems like load shedding that we are currently facing as a country might come at ease. So this, guys, has to open up your eyes to say that, or to indicate to you that companies that produce this thermal coal or companies that produce these kind of coals are going to generate some good revenues in the future, because this is one of the things or one of the resource that is quite in demand, which is why we are still experiencing such a huge problem when it comes to electricity. I mean, I personally think that if we have, or if there is enough coals at these substations or at these electric generating substations, probably this problem of load shedding will definitely come at ease. Now, as long as we still have the problems with load shedding, I personally think that these thermal coal companies or businesses are still going to generate some good revenues in the future. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I would like, before I go into this video, just to thank you guys for you've been telling me about this company. You've been wanting me to talk a lot about this company, and I think I must be honest with you to say that I had never really went and checked as to what this company does and all those things, because guys, there are so many companies that I check out, and there are just so many companies that are out there that are listed in the stock market. So this was one of the companies that I believe that I should have looked at earlier, because this is a company that I believe it's going to do very well in the future. Otherwise, the company that I'm talking about today is none other than the company that you've been asking me to do a video on, and this is a company that is called Thungela Resources. Now Thungela Resources is SA leading thermal coal business, which specifically focuses on thermal coal. Now, for those of you, or to the benefit of those that don't know what a thermal coal is used to produce a steam that produces electricity. So this is one of the most important resources in our country, as I've just been telling you that as long as we are having a problem or challenges with load shedding, I definitely think that this thermal coal business is one of the businesses that are still going to be in demand even in the years to come. So yes, thermal coal is used to produce steam that generates electricity. So this is one of the important resources on our electricity, or and the electricity that we have in our houses. Now, this company owns interest and produces coal from 7 operations. As long as we are still going to be having, or as long as we are having this challenge or the issue with electricity in South Africa, this is the company that we are going to see its services, which is producing coal, being in demand even in the years to come, which is something that, before we go to their balance or to their latest interim financial report, which they just released recently, it's something that you should have at the back of your mind to say that this is the company that is providing services that are still going to be demand even in the years to come. Those of you who bought this stock when it was trading in its 20s, or when it was trading around the 20s, I definitely believe that you did a very good job by investing into this company, because I believe that this is one of those companies which is set to do very well. Otherwise, with all that, guys, allow me to welcome you to yet another awesome video. Now, on today's video, guys, as I've said, or as I've indicated, I'll be talking about a thermal coal producer company called Thungela Resources. Now, as I've said, this is the company that most of you have been asking me to do a video about, and I must say it brings, or nothing gives me greater joy than to do an analysis on a company which is seriously set to do very well. Now, as I've said, we'll be going through, or we'll be checking through their latest financial, or their latest interim financial, which they just released, of the period which ended in June of 2021. So please do watch this video until the end, because I definitely think that the content that I have on today's video, you will definitely like it, because not only will I give you, or not only will we go through those latest 6 months trading statements that they just released last week, but we'll also look at their future share price predictions, because I believe that with at least this future share price prediction, at least it can give you what this share, or where Thungela Resources could be trading at in a year or in the next 5 years, which is something that must motivate you, or I believe it's something that not only is it going to motivate you, but it also motivated me to seriously want to look into this company. Because I mean, guys, when I saw those 1 year share price prediction and the 5 year share price prediction, I must say that my mind was blown by what I saw. So I'll also share that with you on this video, or on today's video. So otherwise, guys, please, if you enjoy the content that I'll be sharing with you about this company, Thungela Resources, don't forget to hit that like button and comment and subscribe. That's if you have not subscribed to the channel already, so that you don't miss the good opportunities or the latest developments regarding the companies we follow on this channel. And I must tell you that this is one of the companies that will be following on this channel from now on, because I just believe in this company, guys. I mean, when I checked their financial statement, when I read about this company, I was seriously convinced to say that this is one of the companies that I must have in my portfolio. Otherwise, just a disclaimer, please know that I'm not a professional financial advisor. All that I'll be discussing with you here are just my opinions, and you should not take them as professional financial advice. Otherwise, if you seek professional financial advice, you already know what to do by now, and that is you need to go and consult the professionals. Now, otherwise, as I've said, Thungela Resources is a thermal coal producer, or it's a company that deals with thermal coal production, which is something that I believe that it's going to be, or we are going to see it being in demand even in the years to come, because we still have got a lot and lots of challenges with regards electricity in South Africa, which is why we are seeing load shedding time and again being implemented. Otherwise, going to the real analysis of the company, looking at the numbers, this company just announced their latest 6 months, or their latest interim financial statements for the period which ended in June of 2021, which I must say that when I went through those statements, I was blown by what I saw. Now, without a waste of time, this company, for the period which ended in June of 2021, they reported a total revenue of around 10 billion rands, which was way better than the revenue they reported in June of 2020, because you will notice, as seen on the screen, that in June of 2020, they had reported a total revenue of around 1.6 billion rand. Now, from 1.6 billion rands to 10.6 billion rands, I personally believe that this is a very good increase when looking on where this company was in June of 2020, which is something that I believe it ought to motivate you, to show you that this is a company that's doing quite well, which is why we've also been seeing their share price also doing well. Otherwise, for the operating profit, this company, for the period which ended in June of 2021, they reported an operating profit of around 990 million rands, which is way better than the operating profit they reported in June of 2020 of around 52 million rands. Now, you see that this is a company that's doing so well when we compare to the financials they reported last year around the same time. Now, for the profit, or for the total profit they generated for the period, it was around 351 million rands, which is something that is incredible, as it was way better than the loss they reported of negative 122 million for the period of June of 2020, which is something that has to tell you, or shows you, that last year in June this company reported a negative profit for the period, and now they just reported 351 million, a way better positive profit than the one that they had reported in the previous year around the same time. Now, as I've said, this is something that has to show you that this is a company that's doing so well. This is a company that is generating some good money from this thermal production business of theirs, which is something that must indicate you or shows you the exact same thing that I've been saying, to say that their services are in demand and we might see them being in demand even in the years to come. Otherwise, as for the EPS or the earnings per share, this company reported an EPS of around 313 cents, which is way better than the negative EPS they had reported last year of around 193 cents. Now, this has to show you yet again to say that this company or this business was not profitable when they report these kind of results last year around the same time, but now they are profitable as they reported 313 cents per share, which just has to show you that this company, it is now profitable, which is something that attracts investors into coming to invest into a stock. Otherwise, another thing that really makes me to be attracted to this company, it was when I checked their total assets against their total liabilities, because as seen on the screen, you'll notice that this company currently has total assets of around or worth 24 billion rand, with total liabilities which are around 12 billion rands. Now you will see that this is a very sharp increase, or this is a good increase when comparing to the total assets and the total liabilities they had last year around the same time. Because if you are to check, you'll notice that they had total assets of around 6 billion last year with total liabilities of around 5 billion rands, which just shows you that they had a current ratio of around 1 point something, which was still not that bad. But right now, this company currently has a current ratio which is over 2, which is something that is truly amazing and kind of like give investors comfort when they invest in companies like this, because this offers the highest level of liquidity in terms of taking care of companies' short-term obligations and operating expenses, because it means that they've got 2 times its assets, or they've got 2 times their assets than their liabilities, which is something that is incredible. And like I said, it encourages or it gives comfort even when investors invest into a company like this. Otherwise, to check how this balance sheet or this company has become so strong in terms of their balance sheet, if you check last year, they had a total cash and cash equivalents of around 28 million, and today or to date, guys, for the period which ended in June of 2021, they reported a total cash and cash equivalent of around 3.1 billion rands, which is something that has to show you of how strong their balance sheet is becoming or has become, which is something that has to give you comfort even when you are investing into this company, because like I always tell you, a company with a strong balance sheet is perceived to perform well in the future, which is something that has to give you the confidence even when you are investing onto this company. Now, coming to my favorite part, which is the price prediction or the share price prediction for this company. Now, Thungela Resources, guys, is currently trading around 63 rands per share, and it has got a 1-year price or share forecast of around 186 rands per share, and which is incredibly amazing, because this is an almost 200%, meaning that if you are to invest into this company, you might see yourself getting 200% worth of returns into this company, which is something that is making me to want to really prioritize this company, because I believe that they are going to do very well in the near future. Otherwise, in the next coming 5 years, they are set to reach around 680 rands per share, which I must say again that I know, well, these are just predictions, but I believe that it is just set to do very well, because the services that they offer are going to be in demand even in the years to come, which is why I believe it is a very good company that I believe you need to go and have a look into and check if you could add it to your portfolio, because I mean, who would not want to generate almost 200% in their returns in the next coming year or so, which is why I believe it's a very good company. And I'm telling you now, I'm going to add this company to my portfolio because it is just set to do very well. I should have invested into this company when it was trading around the 20s, but I know, yes, I agree, I've missed that boat, but this is a company that I will be adding on to my portfolio. In fact, probably this month, because I just believe into this company, because the services that they offer are going to be in demand in the years to come, which is something that has to give you or motivate you to probably add stocks like this to your portfolio, because it's important that you invest in stocks which their services or products are going to be in demand in the future. And this is one of the company that is actually offering or showing us that their services are in demand, and we might see them being in demand even in the years to come. Otherwise, guys, Thungela Resources is a very good company, and once again I would like to say thank you to those that suggested that I look into this company, because guys, I can tell you that the future is bright onto this company when I look and when I analyze and when I also check the kind of services they provide when looking in our country, specifically in our country. I believe that their services are still going to be in demand even in the years to come. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I make tons and tons of stock market investing videos, and if you think that this video was amazing, please don't forget to hit that like button, and if you are new, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that YouTube can notify you every time I release a video. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.